What's going on, boys and girls? I love the lighting in here tonight. Nice and just a good mood. You know what I'm saying? Today we're going to talk about a fragrance from the house of Cartier. So strap up, grab that beverage. We are going for a ride.
Okay, feeling for two. I watch that head move side to side as I let the sin into the room. You are on time, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. Today from the house of, you guys let me know in the comments section. Is it Cartier or Cartier? We have a fragrance called Baiser Vole Eau de Parfum for women. I don't know much about this fragrance, so let me see if I have any quick notes before I do my usual dumpster dive on this. Launched in 2011, 4.06 out of 5 rating, so 4.1 will round up. 6,000 votes. A lot of people have purchased this, and it is classified as a floral fragrance for women. Okay, that's all we need to know, I guess. So applied it to the wrist. Let's get it on a test strip, and let's let the professor cook. I should have maybe did a little bit of a brief history on Cartier, but I just feel like it's one of those kind of heritage houses that has a lot of classics that people who might have been coming into the fragrance game in the last 10 years or so hear the name, but don't really try that many fragrances. I know Declaration is touted quite heavily as being the fragrance everybody should try, but there's a lot of kind of hidden gems. Pasha Cartier, Declaration. Declaration has many flanks. The Leyen Vol or whatever. This is my first time getting into the women's side of things on Cartier, but let's give it a shot. Absolutely phenomenal. Simplistic, yet elegant and niche quality. Nice green. Yeah, green, fresh, maybe an undertone of like citrus and maybe some spice even, mostly citrus, not a lot of spice to speak of, but just a fresh green. It reminds me quite often of maybe like a Balmain Vent Vert for women, but Vent Vert's a little more candied, a little more colorful. This is more just pristine, clean. It kind of imitates a lot of the quality that might come out of like a Estee Lauder or even Maison Francis Kurkdjian from MFK, kind of the Universalis line or the Aqua line. I'm really digging this. I could tell performance is going to be super moderate, but that aside, I just feel like this is a staple women's scent. I wonder if there's any rose in here, actually. Let's go ahead and switch screens. Lily, citrus, lily, green notes. Interesting. You definitely get that white floral like airiness and that lift, but the green and citrus is very much there. I would say compositionally it feels very like 60% white florals, maybe even 70 with a 15-15 or a 20-20 split on citrus and green notes. Doesn't feel synthetic, feels quite natural. It's not the most natural in terms of texture. It's not a 4D fragrance, meaning, I get the sense of space and texture and all that. But I get this, if you close your eyes, you almost get a very rose water type of profile. But the more I see it and connect it, get the white flower sense. It doesn't have that rosy candied kind of tint. It really does stay white floral. But I think the green and citrus, green and citrus behind it is kind of just giving it this nice lift and a little bit of animation under it. This is along the lines of something like a Estee Lauder's Pleasure or something. I do feel it kind of can come off like a glorified Bath and Body Works type of scent, but I'm not mad at it because this is dumb reach. The elegance is not gone. And I think that's the only real thing as a woman that you would consider with this is that maybe perhaps in its generic nature, it might it might not feel fancy enough or might feel cheap. This does not feel super cheap. It doesn't lack elegance in its simplicity. And I love the green citric development for a scent like this, because normally in the rosewater scent type of profile, it would go more candied and sweet. This definitely does have a kind of 5 out of 10 sweetness to it, almost natural, a little bit above natural floral sweetness. But the citrus and green note animation on this profile is just the little bit of swag I think a fragrance that's dumb reach like this needs to stand out from the rest. Moderate sillage in performance. I don't really think this is a sillage type of scent. I think it's more of a scent bubble, 2-3 feet. I do see this being very moderate in terms of performance. Let's see if what they're comparing it to. Opera, a bunch of Cartier fragrances. Pleasures. Hey, guys, you guys got to give me some stinking credit here, man. Do I have a nose on a nice big schnoz on me or what? I swear I've got a dog's nose. Yeah, it's starting to fade. I'm going to be real with you. Let's go ahead and kind of zoom out. Let me get some intimacy with this fragrance for half a second. On skin, it's still there, but test strip is virtually dead. I think you'd be privileged to get like at least 4 hours out of this. Pushing to 6, I think you would really have to glitter yourself up. But again, I think the edge that a lot of women have over men's wearing experience is that, again, a lot of your soaps and shampoos and body washes and even lotions, if you're a type of woman who lotions up, that's going to give a fragrance like this more longevity by a couple of hours compared to normal. Whereas, a guy's not lotioning up. And if he is, it's rarely with something of quality, that's going to help elevate a fragrance or seal a fragrance to the skin. So I tend to believe that even on a solid 4 hours, a woman could push this to the 6 category of performance. I don't think it's going to increase sillage or anything like that. To me, this feels like a very safe 2-3 foot scent bubble. Super office safe, super casual. It could get lifted to upscale casual, but it's more of a casual and casual works. It's more of a casual errand runner as well as an office safe, pleasant, natural smell. It's not fancy schmancy. It's conservative, but it's still, again, with a conservative kind of simplified profile, all I'm looking for is a little bit of flair to make it stand out from the rest. And here you have the quality, you have the niche quality of it. You have a little bit of flair with the citrus and the citrus and green notes kind of, again, animate that airy rosewater type of scent profile. And that's all you need. From there, women, you shotgun yourself. You don't count sprays. I'm going 10 plus. I'm going like 10, 20 sprays or something like this. I'm running through a bottle. Daily driver, ladies. Again, very reminiscent of Estee Lauder Pleasures. And so that covers as far as the alternatives conversation. Yeah, I don't really want to recommend any other alternatives. I think Estee Lauder Pleasures and Pleasures Intense is very close to this profile. A lot of stuff in Bath & Body Works will get you in the range of this, so don't feel like you need to spend the coin for a Cartier fragrance. But again, if you just want that little bit of refinement and quality, again, this got a 4.1 out of 5 rating, so it's definitely something you should put your nose on. It's not original, especially considering it's a 2011 release, and I think Pleasures came out much earlier than that. Let's see. Yeah, closer to the 2000s, maybe even late 90s for the original Estee Lauder Pleasures. So it's generic in that sense that it's kind of copying old stuff, but I like it a lot. I don't care about copies. Everybody's been copying each other under the sun. We're going to dive into that more critically in 2026. Just this idea that everybody and their mom has been cloning each other and remixing and being inspired by since the dawn of time. So I'm not really hating on that, but this is just a great staple foundational fragrance for a woman's arsenal. Just a dumb reach, classy scent. I think it's ageless, truthfully. Like I could see a teenager wearing this all the way up to someone about to take out Social Security. Like it just, again, the more you lean towards naturals and just the beauty of the earth kind of angelic sense, I feel like they're more ageless because they're more elemental and they don't have any kind of points in time references when you smell them. Yeah, as a scent, I give it a solid 8. Not a 9 or a 10. It's not extremely signature. It's not full bodied in terms of, complexity or layer or anything like that. It's very straightforward. But a solid 8. And I think anything 8 and above is like definitely worth considering. If you're the type of woman who is looking for that everyday daily driver and you don't like wearing scents that are loud and bombastic, you're more of that woman who, I don't know if conservative's the word, but you just don't want to be blasting fragrance everywhere. You just want to have that natural, angelic, natural sillage. And you want people to smell you, but you don't want it to linger and hang out and siren out to the world. You want people, when they're in your presence, to just kind of feel that heavenly draft of beauty, and it's very light on the nose. This is a beautiful scent. This is an eau de parfum concentration. It hits like an eau de toilette, I'm going to be real with you. But again, I think naturally with women's layering with lotions and shampoos and everything that you typically use, ladies, that'll help elevate both the projection and the longevity on a scent like this. And either way, I think you should shotgun this. Like, don't even count the sprays. Make a giant mist and walk in it and bathe in it. Because it's just so natural. It's almost borders like natural shampoo, body wash type of thing, but I do think there's a little bit more class and texture to this where people will still feel like you're wearing a fragrance, but not entirely, but enough. I think any season, any reason, I think the elements would destroy a fragrance like this, wind, rain, snow, all that stuff. So typically, your 70-degree area is going to be beautiful. I don't think this is a sundown fragrance. It's a sunrise fragrance, a brunch, a lunch, an afternoon, an errand runner, a school, a work fragrance, and it's just super utility. The fragrance runs for about, can I see it on Amazon maybe? Amazon's selling it 100 mil for $100. Off Amazon, you might get it down closer to the $80 price point. I'm looking on Fragrance Net right now. Just give me a second. Fragrance Net has it for about 90. So I'm going to guess the sweet spot is about 80 to 100 you're going to get for this fragrance, 100 mil. I think that's totally reasonable. It can compete with pretty much any of the designer offerings. But there's a kind of, I don't want to say old school, but there's a timeless elegance with this that just feels very appropriate for any age group, any type of girl. Again, if you're the type of woman who baccarots your way through life and has just, sillage galore and everything's just loud and has more presence and signature to it, this is like your toned down Lululemon in your jammies, or even in your sweatsuit outfit running errands. Like, you worked out, you just got out of the gym, spritz up, school, the whole thing. It would be like your backpack fragrance. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. With that being said, 8 out of 10. I think I answered everything for this fragrance. Ladies, definitely get your nose on this. I think every woman should have a fragrance like this in their arsenal. It's a centerpiece for just not having to think and feeling really good. It's a mood lifter type of fragrance where you just feel like that extra bit of complimentary accessory to your day is, something that's uplifting to you and people that interact with you. You'll smell super fresh, super clean, like you just got dropped from heaven out of a shower. So with that being said, this is Cartier's Baiser Vole, or I don't know. I'm not even going to try and get into that Frenchness. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. If you're new to the channel, hey, stick around for a while. I drop multiple videos every single day, interviews, entertainment, game shows. We're going to go super hard for 2026. And I'm just excited to dive into more fragrances and get your guys' nose on stuff. And this is the place you want to be to get all that good content, whether you're just starting out or you're an expert collector, you'll see very fast on this channel, if you check the playlist section, just how much content there is for you to dive in. I think everybody can take a lot of content home to impact their fragrance journey. That being said, love y'all. Stay blessed. Peace.